President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 20 federal commissioners in the National Population Commission, with 9 current federal commissioners being appointed to a second term in office. The president charges the new and returning NPC federal commissioners to successfully implement all measures taken by his administration to produce an effectively appropriate, accurate population data with which lasting solutions to Nigeria's social, political and economic challenges can be conclusively developed and executed.
The Director General of the National Population Commission, Osifo Ojogun, joins us to discuss the issues concerning Nigeria's population. Thank you so much. Good to see you on Newsnight tonight.
It's a pleasure. Good evening.
Well, will it make sense to ask exactly why Nigeria has not been able to, carry out a successful census? I mean, it's taken 17 years for us to get here, and we're still waiting. Well, what exactly are the challenges?
Let me just talk about some few things, actually. The last census was in 2006, and now there seems to be some political will to undertake a census. What was lacking had been political will, which the government of President Buhari actually decided to bootstrap and support the conduct of a census. So there was that political will that wasn't really there, but I think it's now there.
You know, for a lot of people, especially a lot of Nigerians, 2006, 19 years, almost 20 years, 2 decades is such a long time. For many, they've only read or studied what census is about. Perhaps let's start talking about what the Commission hopes to do in the days to come.
Well, thanks for that great question. You will recall that before the census was postponed, we were almost at it.
Yeah.
We had conducted about 3 or 4 trainings: national training, state training, zonal training, and we were going to conduct the last training, which is LGA training, where about 880,000 persons will be involved. Yeah, that's how huge it might be, that it looks like when you go to think about a census. And suddenly it came like, as expected really somehow, that we're very close to a change of government, even though it is within the same party, knowing that there is this tendency for controversy to come out of some level of maybe census taking. And well, the government of His Excellency Buhari felt like, okay, well, let the new government come in and take all the responsibility for a census. And okay, you should also understand that there was just a general feeler of the effect of an election. So when you talk about a census, you talk about preparation. How prepared were we? One, you could be prepared, but the society you want to enumerate may not be prepared for you. These are interlinks that needs to be put together for a good census to take place.
So how does society prepare for this census? And what exactly will you be looking at? What are the details? What are the specific things that information that you need to be able to say at the end of the day that we have a figure of Nigerians, we know where they are, how many youth, how many, tell us more about it.
Okay, essentially we could talk about quality assurance measures put in place by National Population Commission. But let me first of all mention how to prepare the society.
Right.
One, if we tend to argue about our population between localities, there's every need for accurate measures to be put in place. It takes, for a good census, it may be accurate, but not acceptable. Yeah, so let me go down there, through that route. If you do not know the procedures that eliminated double counting and the rest of them, and leaving no one behind, the tendency is for you to argue. You can hear people say they counted cows. or they counted fishes, depending on which divide you belong to. But at the National Population Commission, we had put in place certain measures. One, it is a digital census. Digital in the sense that the enumeration area demarcation, that is a process where you cut the, let me use the general language that could be understood by everyone, where you split the localities into smaller areas that could be covered by an enumerator within a census period, had been undertaken digitally. What does that imply? It implies that every building in Nigeria was listed. We had that. It's part of what the president talked about today, the geospatial data that is available in National Population Commission. We call it enumeration area demarcation. That had taken place, and we had about 600,000 enumeration areas to be covered nationwide.
Okay.
So that is one. The second thing is that having gotten that frame, it means that you cannot miss a household, because you have a dashboard where you can read real time the movement of each of those enumerators as the time may permit.
Well,
Right.
quickly here, if we can do this, sorry to cut you there, Mr. Osifo Ojogun. And, you know, if you're talking about you ensure you don't miss out on any of these buildings or houses, one of the key concerns around census in Nigeria is accuracy, which I know should bother you. Sometimes people talk about double, enumeration, and sometimes not even get into some places.
Yeah.
So what's the commission doing to ensure that these issues that have been,
How do you ensure
problems
accuracy?
over across all censuses that we've conducted?
I mean, I've mentioned critically the fact that no building will be missed because you have them listed.
How do you ensure that that's done?
Well, it's a very simple thing. We had an MDN that shows the movement of every enumerator. So it shows on real time on the dashboard how this person is moving from house to house.
Okay.
And for buildings that have been covered, the color changes on the dashboard. Yes, once we sync and send out the data, the color will change. And that tells us from our end, monitoring end, that yes, we've concluded that building. And that is not all. Don't forget that there will be another set of persons that will follow up with enumeration. So it's a big kind of a gamut of work that has been that has been listed to take place along the line.
Not enough time to address all the issues. I mean, we will definitely have you back to look more into this. Osifo Ojogun is the Director General, National Population Commission. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful.